Hello everyone. It is a great honor to be here at the 7th Kuala Lumpur International Multidisciplinary Academic Conference 2025. My name is Velia Nur Tanjung, and together with my co-authors from Universitas Gadjah Mada and the National Research and Innovation Agency, I am pleased to present our work on the extraction of rare earth elements from nickel-laterite slag using natrium hydroxide cracking and acid leaching methods. The outline in the presentation will be divided into four parts: introduction, materials and methods, result and discussion, and the last is conclusion. The first for introduction. Rare earth elements, or REE, include all elements in lanthanide group, 15 elements with the addition of scandium and yttrium. REE are classified into two groups based on their atomic mass: light REE from lanthanum to europium and heavy rare earth element from gadolinium to lutetium. The circular diagram illustrates the various secondary sources of REE, such as red mud, e-waste, fly ash, phosphogypsum, wastewater, and other waste. It also highlights different extraction approaches including pyrometallurgy, biometallurgy, and hydrometallurgy. This process aims to recover REE while supporting sustainable development goals, including environmental health, technological advancement, circular economy principle, and human health. The image at the bottom shows actual examples of REE in oxide form, such as neodymium, praseodymium, cerium, and gadolinium. These refined forms are typically yellowish, gray, or white powder, and represent the valuable end products targeted during REE recovery process. And here are the detail of REE application across industries: magnetics, metal alloys, defense, catalysts, glass and polishing, phosphor, and ceramics. And neodymium is almost used in every industry. Nickel laterite deposits widely found in tropical regions such as Indonesia are emerging as potential secondary source for critical metals including REE, scandium, and platinum group elements. Schematic of smelting process of the laterite nickel ore, producing ferronickel as the main product and slag as a byproduct. In Indonesia, slag is commonly used as a low-cost road-based material, but this practice raises concern. Although usable, slag is still considered a hazardous waste due to the presence of the trace metal and compounds that are persistent in the environment. In Indonesia, where nickel matte production can reach up to 70,000 tons in 1 year, annually the resulting slag output is substantial and presents both environmental challenge and resource recovery opportunities. But most REE and scandium are reported to be concentrated into the slag phase, and the slag phase is mainly composed of a silica matrix. To release this REE, the silica network must be broken down. And how to be breakdown silica structure? Referred from Bora et al. And Kim and Azimi, there is two process to break down silica structure: acid baking and alkali cracking. Alkali cracking compared to acid baking offers several advantages, including lower chemical consumption and more efficient decomposition of silicon-oxygen bonds. Initially, REE are in the bond of silica structure, then with cracking will be break the silica bond, and following cracking, leaching is employed to transfer REE into the aqueous phase. This stepwise approach is very important to mobilize REE from the solid phase into solution, which allows further recovery. The second part is material and methods. This slide presents the material used and the experimental setup for the extraction of REE from nickel laterite slag. On the left side, the material list includes nickel laterite slag obtained from PT Valley, Indonesia, sulfuric acid, sodium hydroxide, and deionized water. And on the right side, the schematic shows the experimental setup, which involves a 3-neck flask immersed in a water bath to maintain temperature stability. The setup is also include a mechanical stirrer, thermometer, and condenser to ensure the consistent mixing, accurate temperature control, and minimal loss of vapor. For the methods, this slide describes the overall experimental methods used in our research. First, nickel laterite slag was sieved and subjected to various characterization, including XRD, XRF, and SEM-EDS to understand its mineralogy, elemental composition, and surface morphology. The second, the slag underwent natrium hydroxide cracking, where the sample was treated with natrium hydroxide to break down the silica matrix and release the trapped REE. The result of the natrium hydroxide cracking process were again analyzed using XRD, XRF, and SEM-EDS to observe change in mineral and elemental composition and structure. Third, the cracked slag was subjected to acid leaching using sulfuric acid to transfer the REE into an aqueous phase. The filtrate from the leaching step, which contains the dissolved REE, was collected and analyzed using ICP-OES to quantify the concentration of each element. And here, the visible change profile of the sample of nickel laterite before cracking, after cracking, and the cracked sample. The third part is result and discussions. The first result is characterization of nickel laterite slag. Here's the XRD pattern of nickel laterite slag. The primary phase is phosphorite, a silicate mineral. Phosphorite belongs to the olivine mineral group and is known for its resistance to acid dissolution due to its robust and stable structure, primarily attributed to the strong silicon-oxygen bonds forming a tetrahedral structure. In the XRD result, characteristic peaks of REE minerals were not detected, likely due to their extremely low concentration compared to iron-containing mineral and the uniform distribution of REE within the ore. To obtain quantitative information regarding the material composition, XRF analysis was conducted. The result is in this table. The results show high contents of oxide are silica and iron oxide. And in element is silicon 25% and iron 64%, confirming silica and iron rich composition. And then To know the composition of REE in nickel laterite slag, we use ICP-OS analysis. In addition to Meyer metal element, nickel laterite slag also containing REE in neodymium and scandium and dysprosium. To neodymium is 82 ppm, scandium is 24 ppm, and dysprosium is 12 ppm. The next characterization of nickel laterite slag is morphology analysis use SEM. This image is taken at 50,000 magnification. Reveals that the surface morphology of nickel laterite slag is relatively dense, smooth, and compact. The surface remains well ordered and does not display significant porosity or microcracks, indicating that the silicate structure within the slag remains largely intact. And for elemental mapping, demonstrate a fairly uniform distribution of Meyer elements such as silicon, oxygen, iron, and magnesium. It is originating from the phosphatide phase are widely detected across the sample. For minor metal elements including scandium, nickel, cobalt, and mangan were also detected at low but evenly distributed intensities, suggesting their incorporation within silicate are complex oxide structure rather than exciting a discrete free phase. For natrium hydroxide cracking result, the first is the XRD pattern before cracking and after cracking. For after cracking, form new minerals like natrium iron oxide and natrium magnesium silicate. These changes in diffraction peaks indicate a mineral phase transformation of the silicate material as a result of natrium hydroxide treatment, and this result support the assumption that the cracking process successfully altered the crystal structure of the silicate phase. And for the XRF result, a significant decrease in silicon oxide observed in nickel laterite slag is 38% and in the cracking sample is 21%. Similarly, the elemental silicon content decreased from 25% to 13%. This reduction indicates the silicate compounds in the slag reacted with natrium hydroxide, likely forming a new compounds like natrium magnesium silicate. And for iron oxide content increased from 52% to 69%, and the elemental iron content rise from 64% to 77%, suggesting the iron become more concentrated as a result of the decomposition of silicate phase. And then for morphology analysis after cracking, as we can see, the particle structure appears layered and more irregular, indicating surface degradation as a result of the reaction with natrium hydroxide. And the presence of thin layer and macro cracks suggests partial disintegration of the silicate structure, indicating that the cracking process successfully disrupted part of the mineral matrix. And for the elemental mapping, show that the initially uniform distribution of silicon and oxygen exhibits a localized decrease in intensity after cracking, which supports the decomposition of the silicate structure. And for natrium is observed to be more uniformly distributed across the post-treatment surface, indicating that successfully natrium hydroxide cracking. The last result is acid leaching result. The leaching efficiency of selected REE like scandium, neodymium, and dysprosium is presented in this figure. In this figure is compares the leaching behavior of REE from raw nickel laterite slag and after cracking pretreatment using 5 molar sulfuric acid at 90 Celsius for 2 hours in ratio solid to liquid is 1 to 10 and 500 rpm. From the raw slag samples, leaching efficiency were observed for dysprosium and neodymium is 39 and 35% and for scandium is 30%. The relatively low extraction of scandium is likely due to its stronger association with refractory mineral paste or incorporation into the silicate matrix. Following two natrium hydroxide cracking, a significant efficiency leaching for that REE is observed. The recovery of dysprosium and neodymium is increased to 80% and for scandium is increased to 49%, likely due to the breakdown of the stable silicate paste such as phosphorate, which enhance the accessibility of encapsulated REE. The result clearly demonstrates the element-specific nature of REE leaching behavior and highlight the critical role of natrium hydroxide cracking in disrupting the slag matrix. The process effectively facilitates the liberation of REE, such as dysprosium, neodymium, and scandium, which are typically more tightly bound with the crystalline paste of the slag. And then the last part is conclusion. This study demonstrates that the combination of alkali cracking using natrium hydroxide and subsequent sulfuric acid leaching significantly enhanced the extraction efficiency of REE from laterite nickel slag. The alkali cracking process effectively breaks down stable silicate matrix such as phosphorate, thereby facilitating the release of REE during the leaching stage. The high leaching efficiency were achieved under conditions using 5 molar sulfuric acid at 90 Celsius for 2 hours. For dysprosium and neodymium reaching 80% and for scandium is reaching 49%, indicating that the mineralogical binding of each REE influenced its leachability. Overall, this method presents strong potential for the valorization of industrial nickel laterite slag as an alternative REE source, especially for high-value REE such as dysprosium, neodymium, and scandium. Thank you.